A controversial opinion, it shouldn't be controversial, is that our genre of entertainment and celebrity storytelling and journalism is important and vital. In America, there's a lot of snobbery and a lot of misogyny against this genre because it's considered women's gossip, whereas I believe that it's vital in culture and it's central to our storytelling, and it sparks joy, it brings people together, and there are a lot of lessons to be learned here.
Strategy for media companies right now. It's not just about finding an audience, finding a reader. It's about finding a community and then establishing that trust, right? Like, we're going to see AI disrupt the way that people receive information. And we believe that that personal connection, having an audience that knows and trusts the reporter or the expert that they're hearing from every day, is going to be even more important. So we're going all in on expertise and all in on building community.
We really hit them with stuff that they didn't know before, and that wasn't prepared for them by a corporation. It was something that has a point of view. It was something that that is potentially spicy, and it's something that might change the way they think about the industry. And I also feel that those are super rewarding for the journalists because it turns them into like investigators rather than just writers who are just, let me just kind of like rewrite what a few executives said in their scripted statements. It's something where they're putting together pieces and revealing this greater picture. And that is always the most rewarding thing when you're a writer.
My controversial opinion about the industry I work in is that we don't have to do things the way we always have. There is an opportunity to remain true to our audience, give them what they need, while also evolving and innovating and growing. And I think it's really important. If we don't do that now, AI and all of the technology we're talking about is going to do it for us.
Well, so coming from a family with a lot of doctors and a fiance who's a doctor, I do think people in this industry tend to take themselves a little too seriously. We're not saving lives. We are creating ads and selling products. So I think that sometimes people need, and I understand that, running a big business is really a big responsibility and super important. So I'm not knocking that at all. But I do think that sometimes there's a frenzy to the way people approach the industry that can lead to bad morale for talent. It can burn people out. And I think that sometimes we all need to just take a step back and remember what we're doing.
I feel like traditional reporters like me, I would put myself in that boat, have so much to learn from people who are, starting the Substacks, who are creators on social media, in branding themselves and having a voice. Like, I think when I was in college and in my first couple jobs, like, you learn how to write and there is no really room for beauty or creativity. And now I think we're seeing these, people who are doing an amazing job and doing things their own way. And that, I think I have a lot to learn from that.
Well, I think right now there's this push to transfer what's being done on TV, on linear television, to social media. That's on air all the time. It's also on ABC News Live. You can catch it on digital. But if you go to social media, you can see a lot of the reporters that are outside that courtroom are also posting and keeping that audience informed. So I do see a lot of that. There's a shift. People also want more information. So there is an audience out there that is watching TV, but they are also consuming information on social media. So I think that's growing, especially as it's crazy to say, head toward the end of the year. That's something that's going to continue to grow, and something that I have to focus on and remember that there is a whole audience there, and we do on TV. We also have to shift over.
What's interesting now is it feels like there's a lot of people really talking about solutions, right? I mentioned one of the biggest things affecting the industry right now is AI. There's companies who are like, here is what we're doing with AI. We're creating these personas, right? You can do this too. You should be using Adobe Firefly to create new content. Like, it seems to be like, as I mentioned in the past, there's always like threat happening in the industry. What it feels like the industry has perhaps matured to an understanding is like, we can't just sit back and relax. We need to take action now.